Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show. Real talk, big opinions, and fearless conversations. From the front lines of politics to the latest in pop culture. From breaking sports headlines to the stories that move the world. Nothing's off limits, and nobody's holding back. Arrington Gavin is here to break it down, build it up, and keep it all the way real. So turn it up, lean in, and let's get into it. This is the Arrington Gavin Show.
Hey, what's going on, people? Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show, your go-to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day. Whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz, look, we're diving deep and keeping it real. So please do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. On today's conversation, some big sports news we're going to be bringing to you today. We're going to start off with some sports. So we got big NBA trades that went down, and on top of that, iconic figure in the NBA, in the sports world, is looking for a new home. I'll let you guess on that, and we'll share who that person is later on in the show. Also, celebrities are getting called out for their political beliefs. Some are being called out for staying private about their politics, and one is being slammed for allegedly his political stances. It's all unfair. What else we got for you? You have folks urging U.S. Senator out of Pennsylvania, John Fetterman, to leave the Democratic Party. A long-time Democratic elected official, former Democratic elected official, is urging him to leave the party and go independent. We'll share that later on. Also, a huge brawl between two elected officials from opposite sides go at it verbally in the chambers. We'll share who those individuals are, and so much more here on the Arrington Gavin Show. As always, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule for tuning in to yet another great episode. This is episode 621. That's right, 621. As you know, we drop new episodes weeknights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube, wherever you get your podcast, whether that's iHeart, Spotify, Apple, just to name a few. You can chime in to the conversation. In addition to that, you can also listen to us on your in your cars on the radio airwaves. Shout out to our affiliates. First up, KSHP 1400 AM and 107.1 FM out in Las Vegas. You can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show Fridays at 8 p.m. Pacific time. Again, that's on KSHP 1400 AM and 107.1 FM. And then we're going to head over to New Orleans to WBOK 1230 AM. What New Orleans is talking about, you can chime into the show weeknights at 7 p.m. Central. Again, that's WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about. And then, of course, my friends, you can check out past episodes of the Arrington Gavin Show on GOATverse TV. All you have to do is download the app. It's free. It's available on the App Store, Google Play Store, Roku, as well as Amazon Fire TV. If you have not done so yet, we need your assistance. So look, subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have not done so yet. Subscribe. If you are already a subscriber, well, look, share with the friends, share with families. We have a goal to hit 5,000 by the end of the year. We continue to grow in subscribers each and every day. And I'm telling you, I couldn't thank you all enough, because this channel has truly been growing, and we want to keep that momentum going. We want to keep growing and keep spreading out great conversation, informative conversation. And also we want to have fun. I mean, I'm not here to be a freaking Jake Tapper or who else is like the stern politicians. I'm not here to be a Hannity or anybody that is, kind of like the cookie cutter typical news person, because we have fun here. Look, it's opinionated. I share my opinion. You can like it or you can dislike it. That is your opinion, and I respect others' opinion. But here on today's show, as I mentioned, we got a lot to discuss. Hope you all had a wonderful day today. It was another hot one out here in the Commonwealth. I'm, bringing to you, bringing this show to you, from from our home in the Commonwealth of Virginia, and it has been a hot one. I'm talking like in the 90s, and it's every bit. See, we have a very dry, well, not dry, but we have a very humid heat. So it's interesting when I always talk with folks that are from warmer areas. Like I remember the time when someone from Arizona said, "Oh my gosh, it's hotter here than it is in Arizona." I'm like, okay, you're pushing it, because in I haven't been to Arizona, but I have been to Nevada in around the same time, and I'm like, Miss, it is much hotter where you're at. So please, you don't be trying to come out to my home like that, my home turf. But our weather is pretty bonkers out here. Um, but yeah, that's that's all we had. Oh, check this out. I went to a political event um a couple days ago. I went to a political event um that was it was hosted by uh um a family in my home city, and it was in support of a candidate running for Congress out here. And so it was a great function. It's normally not my, well, I lied. It is kind of like my scene. I love going to different political events, but this one was a little more, private setting. It wasn't a huge crowd. I've been to large functions, I've been to small private settings, and this one was great because I had the opportunity to really speak with this candidate. And so all I can say is this midterm cycle is tough. It's very competitive, right? Um, the goal is to unseat incumbents. I feel like that's the theme now. Unseat incumbents, regardless of which side of the aisle you're on. The mission, the goal for everybody, what I'm seeing right now is that the incumbents should be terrified. They should be scared, because you're looking at we're leaving we're coming from conditions where folks are talking about affordability this, affordability that. They're talking about transparency is being brought up, talking about safety, they're talking about accountability. Folks are tired. Folks are tired. And you know what was interesting? The host of this political event was an independent. Right? See, my home city is primarily red. It is a red conservative city. Okay? Chesapeake is conservative. When you look at on our local council, a lot of our local elected officials, council, school board, it's made of majority Republicans. Right? We have a 6-3 majority on our city council as of right now. There is a 7-2 majority on our school board right now. When you hear of when I speak with these voters, a lot of registered voters from both sides, they're starting to bring up common issues and saying, I voted for this person, this I voted for that. And they're tired. They're tired of the two parties. They're tired of who currently is in that seat. They're tired of their incumbents, right? And they're like they need some new face. They need new blood. They're like, we do not like what's going on in Washington, and it's affecting us here locally. So I say all that to say, y'all, it was a great function. Got the opportunity to speak with a lot of current elected officials and candidates running for local races as well as on federal level. So it was interesting. I made a contact with a gentleman who represents a uh, 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 U.S. senators who I hope to have on very soon. It was just an all around great evening. Made new friends. That's always good. Great hospitality, great food, great wine. All 9 yards. It was superb. It was superb. But enough about my rants, y'all. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to get this show on the road. Got some interesting stories to discuss with you all. You're listening to the Arrington Gavin Show. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Order our scented beard oils and beard balms to help you maintain and grow the perfect beard. Order today. Try our men's care products like the full body exfoliating cleansing bars, body wash, smooth stash, and more. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. We're your luxury but affordable men's care line. And remember,
rugged is the new smooth.
Every man has a story to tell. Your ambitions, your achievements, your legacy. Your suit should reflect that story, crafted precisely, designed for impact, and tailored exclusively for you. We work with only the finest fabrics, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends from world-renowned mills in Italy, the UK, and India. These fabrics are the foundation of custom suits that exude elegance and stand the test of time. But a suit isn't just about fabric, it's about fit, and it's about confidence, and it all starts with you. When you work with me, you'll receive a personalized consultation, whether in person or over Zoom. Together, we'll explore your vision and discuss your needs. And we're gonna bring your ideas to life. My journey as a designer includes apprenticing under New York-based designer Clavon Leonard, showcasing collections at New York Fashion Week, Algeria Fashion Week, and the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. That experience is what we bring to every suit we create, from weddings to corporate events and everything in between. We specialize in crafting one-of-a-kind suits for life's most significant moments. Dapper Luke has been recognized as one of Baltimore's best menswear in 2023, and I was honored to be one of the 10 designers selected for the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. With over 900 satisfied clients, we proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore, bringing world-class designs to these incredible communities. We don't just make suits, we craft confidence. Your suit will fit your body, your style, and it will tell your story. Book your free online personal consultation today. Visit www.dapperluke.com.
All right, my friends, welcome back to the show. Welcome back. Let's get it going with our first story here. Well, I mentioned that it was a bunch of big trades, big news in the sports world. I think the first trade that I do, well, first and foremost, I want to bring up my boy Mitchell Robinson. Let me go ahead and bring this graphic up. He was not traded, but he did sign a new contract. He was a free agent, and he signed a new deal with he signed a deal with the enemy. He signed a deal with the Boston Celtics. Mitchell Robinson, who had been with one team for the last 8 seasons, and that was my New York Knicks. He finally left a champion, and now, he is now heading over to a new squad. If I'm not mistaken, it's the Boston Celtics. He's signing a $47 million deal, I believe. Yeah, it's a $47 million deal. Let me make sure I have this info right, but I'm positive that I am, but I don't want anybody correcting me later on and be like, Arrington, I thought you said something. Nope. So it is with the it's with the Celtics, 3-year deal, $47 million. Well deserved. I mean, that's what happens when you win a championship, depending on which team, whoever wins the NBA finals the following season, here comes the big money contracts. It's just like that in football. It's like that in in every sport. They're like, okay, brand new contracts. We want to get him. So well deserved. 8 seasons with us, man. And yeah, he's going to Boston. Ugh. Makes me sick. But that's not the only thing that went down. So let me go ahead and bring you all of these, all of the news here. So you had Jaylen Brown of the Boston Celtics. got traded. Okay, in a massive trade, by the way. He got traded to the Sixers, Philadelphia 76ers, in exchange for Paul George and 2 first-round picks, as well as 2 second-round picks. So, I guess you could say, good for Philly for getting a new addition. Do I think that will be beneficial for Philly? It's a hey, it's a new face for the team. So now you got him. You got what's old dude's name that played for the Sixers? Oh man, where am I? See, I've been so busy. I'm over here blanking on the what's old dude's name? Oh my gosh, it's like literally off the what's his name? Joel Embiid. Good gracious, it was killing me. I had off to my tongue. Embiid. So he got some new weapons. Jaylen Brown is a champ. Won a ring with Boston. So it will be interesting to see how they look. Also, one of the earlier trades that was early news that brought the attention to a lot of folks is Giannis Antetokounmpo was traded to Miami Heat. Giannis spent all of his career, for the most part, with the Milwaukee Bucks. He also won a ring with them. That was a one and done. Okay, but he still is a champ. So now he's going to Miami, hoping that Miami can see that same glory days they had back when it was LeBron, Bosh, Wade, Shaq, Alonzo. They're trying to get back that winning streak. Kawhi Leonard was traded from the LA Clippers to Toronto Raptors, the squad that he won a ring with as well. He was a one and done with Toronto, but he brought them their first ever NBA Finals, which was very, very memorable. And then you have Ja Morant going to the Trailblazers. Minnesota Timberwolves got LaMelo Ball and Josh Green. That might need to keep your eyes on Minnesota. LaMelo is a great player. I will say he's probably gonna miss the Charlotte area compared to Minnesota. Minnesota's cold. Not really nothing to do really in Minnesota. Minnesota. But here's a funny story here. So Stephen A. Smith, he continues to be the controversial figure that gets on everybody's nerves, but hey, that's why he makes the big bucks, right? Stephen A. Smith shared his thoughts on a recent the recent news about the Lakers' new facelift, because LeBron James is now a free agent. We don't know where he's going to be landing, and we'll talk a little bit more about that after in a few. But the Lakers, you have Luka Doncic, who came from the Dallas Mavericks. You have Austin Reeves, okay, who had recently inked up a new deal, $185 million contract extension. And now the Lakers have traded for Utah Jazz big man Walker Kessler. So really, Austin Reeves, Luka Doncic, Walker Kessler, those are your big three. That's your big three. Now, Stephen A. Smith, he knows what makes him the big bucks, right? He knows that, hey, look, if I don't add a little controversy out, if I don't ruffle some feathers, ain't nobody gonna pay attention to me. So this is what he does. But a lot of folks are saying he might have shot himself in the foot, because this is quite controversial. Let me go ahead and play this clip of Stephen A. Smith giving his take on his show, the Stephen A. Smith Show, which is on SiriusXM, Mad Dog SiriusXM. He shares his opinion on the new look for the Los Angeles Lakers.
I just got to say it, y'all. Where the hell the Los Angeles Lakers think they're going with a bunch of white dudes? Somebody had to say it, so I'm saying it. Your 3 top players are white dudes? Really? This ain't golf. This ain't baseball. Hell, it ain't even soccer. And we got a whole bunch of brothers on Team USA. What y'all think this is? It's basketball. This is basketball. In NBA history, when have you seen your 3 most prominent players on a basketball team all be white? And that takes you to the promised land. Somebody got to say it, so I'm saying it. Sorry to the leadership of SiriusXM, Eric Spitz, Steve Torrey, Mad Dog Russo. Sorry if it makes y'all uncomfortable. Love y'all. Y'all know that. But damn it, we did it. I'm a brother. Yo, this is basketball. I'm not complaining. I'm simply making the point. Ladies and gentlemen, the Los Angeles Lakers, Tinseltown, a place where everybody from Wilt and Kareem and Shaq and Magic and Kobe, yes, Jerry West before them, yes, George Mikan before the aforementioned centers, but this is the Lakers. This is Southern California. This is La La. This is LA, baby. This ain't Utah. And even in Utah, when you had Stockton, you had Malone. Even when you had Hornacek and Stockton, you still had Malone. Even when you had the 7'4" Eaton, you still had Malone. And Byron Russell. I mean, what's up? Somebody got said, so I'm saying it. You ain't going anywhere. Being led by 3 white dudes in today's generation of basketball. I'm letting you know right now, it ain't happening. And Luka's a bad brother. And Austin Reeves is no scrub. And they both have earned what they have earned. And then with LeBron James or some other brothers I get. But those 2 and Walker Kessler? You ain't scaring anybody with that. I'm just saying. This is the year 2026.
Whew. So, excuse me. Let's go ahead and kind of dissect what Stephen A. Smith was saying there. So, obviously a lot of folks are, and what I mean by a lot, primarily, well, I'll just be honest. Folks find Stephen A. Smith extremely annoying. I personally, I'm a fan, right? You know, hey, y'all can hate me for it. I'm a fan. The man has become successful for being, for really being, what's the word I'm looking for? He has been successful for changing the whole industry of not just, but really sports journalism and sports talk, especially debate format. But now he's made so much success. You're now seeing him involved in the political space as well. So he's really starting to mastermind both avenues, which, hey, you got to give credit. Some folks can say, well, I don't like the way he said, well, it's opinion for a reason. You're not there to agree with him 24/7. If you dislike it, then no. But I've never always agreed with him, but he makes good, valid points. Now, let me dissect what he just said. So, Luka Doncic, MVP. Austin Reeves, spectacular player. Kessler, spectacular player. What Stephen A. Smith is saying that because of their complexion, right? When you look at the overall, and I'm not here to defend him because I don't think that was the right example he should have used personally, in my opinion. He's saying if you look at the overall NBA, right? The NBA is made up of majority what? or most of their teams is majority what? The majority is African American males, right? You can go all the way back to the old days. The inside joke will be like, sports didn't get quite interesting until Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt Chamberlain scored 100 points in a game. 100 points in a game. Okay. What did Laura Ingraham say? Shut up and dribble. Because she is saying, oh, that's all that black men are good. Black celebrities are good for. Male figures are good. Oh, just shut up and dribble. Just shut up and dribble. Mostly white folks find this very offensive because he's saying that because we're white, we're not good players. Like you're saying we're awful, even though we've proved that we can compete in the NBA. You're saying we can't win a championship because there's an all white led team, and that team doesn't look intimidating from others. Now, if he would have just said, look, these cats are accomplished in their own right, but together they're not intimidating the league, he could have left it at there. But the fact that he said 3 white dudes, I mean, they heard him. I can't talk like him right now, but he's saying because you've never primarily seen a championship caliber, at least in this new era, of majority or led by white guys. Like it's almost like he's saying you have to have a black man or a black individual to be successful. I think Stephen A. Smith he's ruffling a lot of feathers. My question to you all is, does Stephen A. have a point? Do you agree or do you disagree with that point? Do you see that the Lakers' new facelift led by 3 white males, do you think that's a championship winning led team or no? Because in Stephen A. Smith's, what he's explaining is that you got to have a brother to win some games. Black basketball is a black led sport. That's where he's going with it. Basketball is a black led sport. It is a black dominated sport. Okay. Now you can I mean, even on the WNBA, you have great white players. In the NBA, you have excellent white players, and in the WNBA, you have excellent white players. Like, I'm always going to be on the side of never add more division to society, and I feel like what he did was just add more division to society, because now you got a lot of folks that, especially, and he started naming golf, primarily a white sport, because it's white male dominant. You don't see a lot of people of color in golf, especially black men. You don't see a lot of black men in golf. But I feel like just Stephen A. Smith just made matters worse. Let me backtrack that quote here. He says, let's see here. He said, where the hell is the Los Angeles Lakers think they're going with a bunch of white dudes? That's basically what he's saying. He's saying he's challenging the Lakers, which this should be motivation for the Lakers upcoming season. He's saying y'all can't win nothing with a bunch of white dudes. He said this ain't golf, this ain't baseball, this ain't soccer. It's basketball. Again, in signing that, basketball is a black dominant sport. It's the majority. You have majority black men in the sport of basketball. He said somebody got to say it. I'm saying it. I mean, he's paid to be a critic. He's paid to be a talker. So if folks felt offense to that, then they felt offense to it. Now, I will say, to play devil's advocate, now what if it was the other way around? What if Mad Dog, Chris Russo, or what if Skip Bayless, right? What if one of them said, the Lakers, what do you think you're going to win with 3 black dudes? Oh, people would flip. People would flip. But again, you got to look at the context. You got to really dissect and look at why he's saying that. Again, this man has paid millions to irritate folks, to have folks agree with him, to always turn the pot. Look at the NBA. Matter of fact, you don't have to. Let me go ahead and look at a what is the um in that compete in. Okay, let's see here. Alrighty. So check this out. Approximately 70% of NBA players, as right now, are black men. 70%. 70%. All right. Now, is Stephen A. Smith saying that black men are more successful at basketball than white players? Right? Are they more athletic? Are they more skillful? Like, again, he can find himself in. I don't think he's gonna get canceled for it, but I will say, if this was the other way around, because I can already hear the right bringing it up. Like, if this was the other way around, we would be canceled in a heartbeat. We would be canceled in a heartbeat. And it's just that's why it's hard for me to try and kind of explain this as best as I can, because it's been a long day for you, boy, and I'm trying to. I know I might sound a little groggy here, but I am trying to dissect his, because you always want to think of, like, what made somebody say that, right? Why would they bring a point like that? Why would they make a statement like that? Was there a point at the end of the day? I think that, for one, because Stephen A. Smith is a fellow Knicks fan, I think he's made competition a lot harder for our Knicks, because now you got because first of all, the West Coast is already hard to beat in general. So now he's making it even more competitive, making it more harder for our New York Knicks. But let me know what y'all think. Was Stephen A. Smith wrong with that statement, saying that the Lakers are not going to go anywhere with 3 white dudes, or is there some truth to it? Leave a comment at the bottom. Let me know what you think about this one. Before we finish off, oh no, I'm done with this. Let me digress from this, because I do want to bring up, not really spend too much time on this, but LeBron James is now a free agent, right? And I'm trying to see, where is King James going to land. Now, LeBron just completed, I believe, his 23rd season in the NBA. 23 years. 23 years in the NBA. Where is he at? Oh, here we go. And when I see the fact that this man has now played with his son in multiple seasons, he can still deliver, don't get me wrong, but it's just like, what is he trying to play 25 years? Is he trying to be the first ever person to play 30 years? Is he trying to win all of the is he trying to win all the records? Is he trying to play for another ring? Like, what is it? I'm trying to see, what's the age of LeBron. I think LeBron I know he's got to be in his 40s. Let's see here. Yeah, I think he's right at 40 if I'm not mistaken. In the words of Mr. Brown, he called LeBron. He said Lebanon James. Yeah, 41 years old, 23 years, 23. Yep, 23. This man's been playing forever. So now they're showing up. Okay, where could he land? Because he's not going to return to the Los Angeles Lakers now. Folks have brought up teams like Golden State Warriors. Now, me personally, I do not want to see him play at Golden State. I think it'll be an interesting. I mean, yeah, would it be cool to see, one of the greatest players? I mean, really, two of the greatest players in the NBA. You got a great shooter in Steph Curry. You got, the really the player that all of them look up to, in LeBron. Like LeBron has competed a lot of teams that he's played with or he was teammates of. He played with their fathers. Okay, Gary Payton, Tim Hardaway, oh my goodness. Well, he played against his own son. He was teammates with his own son. There's a number of players that he has competed against their parents. And it's like, wow. So Golden State, for one, I don't know if they can afford LeBron. Two, it could be an easier transition for him because boom, he's leaving Los Angeles, going to the Bay Area. It's not a far commute for him at all. Now, Cleveland. Now, if this is for sure his last year, which he's not made an announcement if this will be his last year or not, but year 24, the body does take a toll. Where do you go? Because you gotta look at it. The Cleveland did make it pretty far in the playoffs, but they were swept by let me go ahead and remind you all who took them out. Yeah, right there, New York Knicks. And but you got Donovan Mitchell. You had James Harden, but that wouldn't be a good match because James Harden, he got an ego issue, in my opinion. He wants to make it a team of him. He wants to be the star and the franchise player. If you bring LeBron, there'll be too many egos, and he's not going to like that. And so I think that'll be a great, way to end his career, will be with with his home team, right? He's from Ohio. He won a championship in Cleveland. Why not? Think of the story. This is his send-off year. They possibly win the championship, and he retires as a champion, 4-time. Could be nice, right? Let me see who else they're putting up here. Dallas. No. Now they still have what's his name? Klay Thompson. Klay's championship years, I think, is done. I think, it would have been great for him to stay at Golden State. I think Golden State didn't want to give him more money because he was injury prone. Dallas looked at him as like one of the, I guess, co-franchise players, because at the time he was playing against Luka. But if I'm not mistaken, I think Kyrie is still with the Mavs. So maybe you can reunite past teammates, have that Cleveland, spark again. I don't know. Final team they have up here is the Denver Nuggets. No, that's a lost cause. I'm gonna tell you that right now. That ain't never gonna happen. So my question, because I give y'all a lot of questions. I give y'all homework, because before we end these shows, man, I give y'all homework. Where will King James land out? By the time y'all tune into this, there might be a squad that will pick him up. Surprisingly, be like, what? So would he go back to Miami? Right? Milwaukee just let go of Giannis. But again, LeBron's gonna need to go to a team that already has some weapons in place. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, LeBron cannot lead a team to the promised land by himself. Not at his age. He's one of the greatest. Don't get me wrong. He's by far, one of the top 2 greatest of all times, but he cannot do it by himself. So a lot of these teams that are saying we're going to put all the money, give him all the money, and he's going to take us to the promised land. Good luck with that. He's 41 years old. I remember when Paul Pierce was playing. I think he was around 40. Ray Allen, Vince Carter, McGrady, like these cats were. I mean, Carmelo. That age, I'm telling you, man, it's Father Time is gonna start taking a toll. that body ain't the same what it used to be, and LeBron knows it, and we all see it. Okay, let me go ahead and digress for this. Let's talk some politics, my friend. So I don't know why, but people coming after my boy Dwayne the Rock Johnson, man. Now, I'm a huge Dwayne Johnson fan. You're talking to a kid who was a huge a wrestling fan. Still am a big wrestling fan, and I'm a huge fan of Dwayne the Rock Johnson. Talented individual, by far one of the greatest, one of my favorite pro wrestlers of all time, as well as actors and entertainers, because he can do it all. He can really do it all. But Dwayne the Rock Johnson has been facing some backlash, specifically in Hollywood, because he's deciding to keep his politics private. Now, is that an issue? Is that a bad thing? I personally don't think so. This was a conversation that is always being brought up, and the question is, should public figures be open and honest about their politics? Should they? Should they be? How can I look at it? Is it a must that public figures I guess share their political beliefs with the world, right? So I have some friends on one side saying they have every right to keep their politics private because politics is not their lane. They're not politicians, they're entertainers. They're here to entertain us and do their job, and that's politics is so iffy. Now I have another side of folks I've spoken with saying, but as a public figure, you have this large platform that can really make a difference. If you speak on these issues, it can really impact, and yes, and that and that. And I get that, but they do not have a they're not they have the right. Because they're a public figure doesn't mean that automatically says, okay, you have to speak on these issues. You have to speak on that. No, that's not what, that doesn't come with the job. It doesn't. People want to force it. People want to make it seem like, oh, because you're a public figure now, you have to do this. You have to do no. So let me read you this article by Variety. It says here, Dwayne the Rock Johnson slammed as a coward for staying quiet on politics. Star Trek icon George Takei fires back, saying silence is complicity. The former pro wrestler is catching flack as he told Esquire magazine earlier this month that he will no longer speak publicly on politics. The Star Trek icon George Takei is one of Hollywood's criticizing one of Hollywood's voices criticizing Johnson's stance, writing on Threads, silence is complicity. So disappointing to find out he is such a coward. The Stand By Me actor Will Wheaton shared, and I'll be honest, ain't nobody gonna call me a coward. And my friends in the political space might not agree with me on this one, but I think that The Rock has the absolute right, and he could be, I don't care if he's liberal, Republican, this goes for anybody. Everybody has the right to keep stuff private, right? They have the right to keep their relationships private. They have the right to keep their their whole lifestyle private. Okay. Last time I checked, I've never heard um Denzel Washington speak publicly on politics. I've never heard Tom Cruise speak publicly on politics. I've never heard um I don't know. I've never heard uh Brad Pitt speak public. I mean, there's a number of celebs that, at least for me, I've never heard a lot of actors and pro wrestlers speak publicly on politics. Am I curious? Hell yeah, I'm curious of a lot of stuff. I'm curious of, you know, are they paper or plastic? I'm curious of what's their favorite cars. I'm curious of what's their favorite teams. I'm curious of what their favorite hobbies are. I mean, everybody's going to be curious, and I get it. Public figures have a larger platform, but I think that's the big issue for me is that one celebrity should not have the power to sway or to tell somebody how to vote. That's the whole reason why I try to talk as much politics as I can on this show, not uh um to push you all or to force you all to who do you want to vote for, but just to provide some form of understanding on, like, hey, look, Arrington brought up this conversation on the show. Once I finish listening to this episode, I'm gonna actually look into, some of my local elected official. I'm gonna look into this issue going on in our nation's in our whole, in our world today. Like, I'm curious to do this. I'm curious to check out I'm interested in learning more, right? Because I didn't know that prior. Now, public figures, they have a lot of power where they could sway people from one side or the other. I mean, that's why a lot of celebrities, a lot of politicians will hit up celebrities to say, "Hey, look, I need your endorsement. Hey, can you speak at my function, or can you sing at my function?" Like, and I personally think people are more frustrated now because of Trump. Let's be honest, Trump is a hot ass mess. He has caused so much division, so much turmoil, so much headache and high blood pressure, where folks are like saying, "Come on, you can't be quiet, you can't be scared, you can't be doing this is the worst time." Now, here's what folks need to realize. Dwayne The Rock Johnson is currently on a global press tour for his new Disney live action Mona film. And when it comes to business, right? Which the part is, he probably assumed that if he speaks on politics, it might affect the numbers of this new film. But I think now that he's staying quiet, I think he's damned if you do, damned if you don't. I think he's screwed, one way or the other. So it really doesn't help. But I remember in 2024, he told Fox News that he regretted endorsing Biden for president in 2020 because it caused division amongst his fans, adding at the time, "My goal is to bring the country together. I believe in that. There will be no endorsement. At this level of influence, I will keep my politics to myself. It is between me and the ballot box." I respect that. I respect that. I don't think anybody should be criticized for having a stance like that. Personally, even if I was a public figure. Now I get it. He made the announcement in the last go round. To me, I think he already kind of shared what politics he leans towards, right? He works in the Hollywood industry, right? Preferably liberal. He is a minority. He might lean towards liberal views in that case. Now, he is a very wealthy individual, so he might have some capitalism in him. Never know. You never know. He's also has some ownerships. He has a ownership stake in what is it? The TKO group with that heads the World Wrestling Entertainment. All of them are business people. All of them work together. him, Triple H, Dana White. I think, to my understanding, doesn't Trump have some ownership in TKO? Maybe a shareholder. I don't know. The blockbuster actor expanded on his newfound aversion to political talk by telling Esquire this month, what I have learned through experience is that I need, not want, the main thing. And the main thing for me, the thing that in the morning I swing my legs out of bed, I run towards is creating. It's art, it's storytelling. I've learned I'm going to keep my politics to myself. There are moments when, hey, there's nothing we can talk about. If I'm wrong, I'll tell you I'm wrong. Or if I feel like I got a leg up and this is the right way to go, I'll share it with you. Politics is uh omnipresent and it's forever. I don't like it. I hate it at times. I hate the slinging. I hate the what do you say? I hate the slinging. I hate all the BS that comes with it. Jennifer Lawrence, the actress Jennifer Lawrence, faced similar scrutiny last fall on the press tour for Die My Love when she spoke to the New York Times about her newfound resistance to talking to the press about politics. The Oscar winner was outspoken against Trump during his first administration as U.S. president, notably writing an op-ed after Election Day in which she declared that Trump's victory meant the only people that feel safe in America, that their rights are recognized and respected, are white men. Okay, so she shared that. I think that already kind of answers where her politics lean. Again, The Rock endorsed Joe Biden. He endorsed Joe Biden. Now, the second go round, he said he was not going to endorse Joe Biden, which, I mean, could you blame him? Now, he never came out publicly endorsing Kamala Harris. Now, that doesn't mean he didn't vote for her. I think this is when cancel culture, this is the side that I hate about cancel culture, because they're trying to, I'm not even gonna say they're trying to cancel them. Well, no, you can, if this continues to extend, they could try to attempt, but you can't attempt to cancel The Rock. The Rock is not wrong in his position at all. I think folks need to get over it. I think everybody's not going to share. Look, I have close friends of mine that we don't talk politics, right? And I respect that's okay. I'm not forcing them to speak. We can speak about something else. We can speak about movies. We can speak about sports. We can speak about community. We can speak about anything. We don't have to speak about politics. Politics is not for everybody. Politics is not for everybody. I have close friends that I know for sure that they were going to be debating issues on politics. But hey, we get along. We respect each other's opinions. We care about the same stuff. We just have a different way of getting it done. But politics is not for everybody. Politics is not for everybody. People in my own family don't want to talk, politics. There's places that you don't talk politics. In the workplace, right? Especially if you work for a corporation, it's in the workplace. It's what school, church, you don't talk politics. I mean, most churches, you have a number of them who are more community driven, that is gonna not be, again, like your Jamal Bryans, or shout out to my guy, Pastor Kaysen of Bethany Baptist Church out in Chesapeake, right? There's a number of people that are more community based that's going to talk politics, but then you have some that are not going to, right? It's rare the fact that in our time, like in the U.S. Senate, you have a pastor, Raphael Warnock. He is a pastor. He works in ministry. He's also a politician who serves as a U.S. Senator in the state of Georgia. One thing we've noticed, y'all, is in the Hollywood industry, if you come out being anywhere close to supporting Donald Trump, your career is over. All right. You are going to only be offering films in Hallmark or Fox Nation. Okay. Dean Cain, those that go far, far right? Rob Schneider, the guy that played, is it Shazam, the superhero? Was it Shazam? He came out supporting RFK, and then he leaned more to supporting Trump because RFK ended up working for the Trump administration. There's a number, the girl from Sopranos. There's a number of actors that came out very conservative that they have said, hey, look, I've been blackballed, I've lost business, I've lost this, I've lost that. There's some people that just said, no, I came out with these views, but I'm still, respected in X, Y, and Z. I mean, that's just life. You can't please everybody. You cannot please everybody. It's unfortunate, but that's just reality. My overall, because I'm looking at my time, we got about a couple minutes left. My overall, I want to ask you all is, or should public figures be obligated to share their political beliefs? And public figures meaning professional athletes, actors, any of them. Should they be obligated to share their political beliefs? Because I'll be honest, I think those who criticize them are a part of the problem. I do. I think they're a part of the problem. And what I mean by that is, look, I'm speaking as an independent. I hate all the division we have in our world. I do. I wish we can all just realize that we need to come together and focus on the good and the bad, right? We need to call out the evil that exists for sure, but we don't need to be attacking each other, especially when it's like we want everybody to share the exact same opinion or the exact same values, right? Not everybody's gonna agree on the same stuff. Okay, not everybody's gonna agree. So I don't know, my friends. I think folks are going a little bit overboard over this story about The Rock keeping his politics private now. I have some other stories I want to share, but I'm gonna have to share that on the next show. But as always, thank you so much for sticking with us here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Thank you for staying with us this evening. And do me a favor, go to our website, go to our website, www.theagshow.com. You can check out our recent episodes from there so you can get all caught up. And subscribe to our YouTube channel. Peace and blessings. Stay safe. Stay informed. It's midterm season, so make sure you're doing your homework on these elected officials or these candidates, because at the end of the day, we are the ones that are doing the hiring. They work for us, right? They're not the boss of us. We are the boss of them. I'm out.
That's it for tonight on the Arrington Gavin Show. Thanks for tapping in and keeping the conversation alive. Don't forget, stay connected with us on all platforms. Follow at Arrington Gavin on Instagram, Blue Sky, and X, and subscribe to the official Substack for exclusive takes and deep dives you won't get anywhere else. We're here every weeknight, same time, same energy, same real talk. Until next time, stay bold, stay sharp, and stay true. That's what we do on the Arrington Gavin Show. Peace.